Did you know that women are synced to the cosmic universe? Yep, that's right. Our bodies are actually in tune with nature and the moon. All humans are synced up to the light and dark cycles of nature. This is called our circadian rhythm, and it's what makes us sleepy at night and awake during the day. But women's menstrual cycles are actually synced to the moon. Pretty cool, right? Now, back in the 1960s and 70s, it was discovered that light exposure can actually affect a woman's ovulation. That was well before we were inundated with LED lighting and electronics like tablets and phones, and all of this light that has thrown off our internal sensors. In 2001, the monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society reported that 2/3 of the United States population and more than 1/2 of the European population have already lost the ability to see the Milky Way with the naked eye. Let that sink in, especially if you're a gal with irregular cycles, a family history of breast cancer, or you have other factors that put you at increased risk for developing breast cancer. Artificial light exposure at night affects your menstrual cycle, can influence ovulation, and is correlated with an increased risk of breast cancer. And we are living in one of the most light-polluted times in history. So much so that most of us can't even see the stars from where we live. Now, despite knowing all of that, many of us are still in sync with the moon. I want to talk you through this really cool phenomenon that's been observed by midwives and medicine women for ages. And that is, some of us get our period with the full moon, and some of us get our period with the new moon. Now, if you get your period with the full moon, this is what's known as the red moon goddess, whereas bleeding with the white moon is thought to be more common and is called the white moon goddess. Now, there's a myth that if you're healthy, then your period should ideally fall on the new moon only. But I dug into the old textbooks on this, and here's what I found. How your cycle is synced to the moon actually has a lot to do with your greater purpose here on this planet. What you are currently feeding with your energy and your intention can have an impact on your cycle. Your purpose and life work may actually contribute to whether you cycle with the new moon or the full moon. So let's break this down a little bit further. If you get your period on the full moon, this is known as the red moon goddess and is often a medicine woman, shaman, healer, priestess, or in other words, she's here to do some big work. Translated to modern day, these are our doctors, nurses, CEOs, activists, artists, and all-around movers and shakers. These women tend to focus their period powers and energy outward into the world during their period. Turns out that should be cycling with the new moon isn't right. In my opinion, it's a bit silly to think the only thing we're in sync with in the universe is the single moon we see. Now, let's talk about if you get your period with the new moon. This is thought to coincide with a more fertile cycle, aka ready to make a baby. Think about that. Being in a cave, the full moon's waking you up, what else are you gonna do? When light enters your eyes and hits the pineal gland in your brain, it triggers your body to degrade or break down melatonin, and you wake up. This is why some women have trouble sleeping leading up to and during the full moon. All that extra light shining down is also why the earth is considered most fertile during that full moon time. So if you're having your period with the new moon, you tend to ovulate with the full moon, which evolutionarily speaking, living in a cave, it's an optimal time for baby making. Now, I want you to understand there is no right way to cycle. The biggest thing is listening to your body and really supporting it and letting it do its thing.